Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We got some brand new content in NHL 22 we're going to go over, including a new X Factor getting their next tier and new Hut Rush rewards, so we're going to go over that as well. If you guys enjoy the content, as always, make sure you subscribe to the channel for the most up-to-date news, tips, and info for NHL 23. Let's get into it. All right, guys, let's start with some of the prime times. I just want to address this real quick because there was a Tage Thompson prime time for his unbelievable goal yet again the other night, but he did only come out at an 84. People were confused, obviously, because his 85 is still one of the best prime times in the game. This was a specific upgraded one that got some kind of focused upgrades that wasn't along the normal progression path. So it came out, it was an 85, it jumped up a bunch in overall and has unstoppable force. It's still one of the better cards in my opinion. So it operates a little bit differently. That's why Tage Thompson only got an 84, because I think a lot of people were wondering if he was going to get an 86 and above. So his 84 comes with 85 speed and acceleration, 79 endurance, which is tough. He is phenomenal with unstoppable force. It makes up for him being a little bit slower, because even though people can catch up to him, there's just no bumping him off the puck at all. His puck on a string is not really the OP superstar ability, I think, that everyone goes after. It's still very good because he is massive, but you're gonna have to pair him with someone much quicker. If you can save your coins and try and get the 85 version, if there is still any out there, I would try and do that. All right, now Braden Point got an 85 overall with Dangle City and puck on a string, 88 speed, 90 acceleration, and mid to high 80s shots. Hand stats all at 88 essentially. If you are looking for a cheaper right-handed winger or someone that could play at center with 81 on the draw, again, if you are someone that is very good at faceoffs, you can get away with 81 overall. Braden Point might not be a bad option. I've never really been a fan of his cards because he just gets knocked off the puck very easily, but 88 speed and 90 acceleration isn't useless. You can definitely get by on that. However, I'd probably prefer the base Matthew Barzal, for example, and even maybe David Pastrnak, but he's still going to be a half-decent card because of that skating. And then we've got the 87 Steven Stamkos. So just like that, Steven Stamkos jumps up to an 87, 91 speed, 93 acceleration. Make it snappy doesn't seem to be all that impactful. I'm not going to lie, guys. It's very hard. You can't really tell in terms of shots working. I will say that after the whole Hut Rush thing and how every shot is basically a snapshot, maybe that is beneficial. I'm going to try it out a little bit more just because of that recently, because every shot is essentially a snapshot. But 93 acceleration and 91 speed is very, very good. A great shot, great hand stats, and you can play him at center with 84 on the draw, so an all-around pretty decent card. Now, because he did get an 87, that does mean he jumps up into another tier in his X Factor, and he gains speed, meaning that he gets 93 acceleration and 93 speed with Fly the Zone activated, making him one of the better wingers in the game. Again, 90 shot, which is phenomenal. His hand stats are great. His 86, and 85, guys, I've been using this Steven Stamkos, and it's been kind of a love-hate relationship. When he was 83 and he was awful for me. When I got him up to 85, he was good, and then it slowly became where I couldn't do anything with him. I got him to his 86, and, he scores in bunches for me. He's on my third line right now. I might bump him up because he's got 93 acceleration and 93 agility, 93 speed. It's just a really, really good all-around card. If I can get maybe Magician on him as well, get his agility up to 93, that'd be huge. If you are someone who has Steven Stamkos as X Factor, guys, he's not going to get a Team of the Year. You've got to be careful if you continue upgrading. However, I've mentioned it before, if you are someone that has 11 win capability in Champs, you're going to be able to get a ton of power-up collectibles very easily, and 2 power-up collectibles to go up 1 tier, as long as it has speed, is pretty decent. But again, his next one, when he goes to 88, he might not get a speed increase. I'd be willing to bet that he wouldn't, so you're spending 2 power-up collectibles to just stay at basically the same except for his shot and everything else. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to make this upgrade, but that's just because I'm invested now. I've got to see this all the way through. Want to take a quick look at one of the new Alumni. We've got the 85 Brian Campbell with applesauce and wheels. I've never been a huge fan of Brian Campbell cards just because he's obviously a lot smaller, and his skating isn't exceptional for his size. If you're going to spend money on an 85 overall defenseman, like, you could go with like Erik Karlsson, for example. His base card's better, so just keep that in mind. Also, I completely forgot that Brian Campbell was a Florida Panther, like, just completely out of my memory. Whenever I think about him, I do not think about the Florida Panthers. Now, we also got a new season of Hut Rush. The rewards are pretty decent as long as you don't burn yourself out on them. The first season, I went and did that. I grinded out about 5 million points without objectives, and it is god-awful. So every Tuesday at 5 p.m., guys, you get new objectives, and what I would recommend you do is just max out these objectives every single time, and then by the end, you should have the entire Hut Rush tree done. That way you don't have to sit here and just grind it mindlessly throughout the entire time. Now, in this set of, it goes up to 10 million, you have until December 27th. There is 4 power-up collectibles in here, which is absolutely solid. Another thing I want to bring up, guys, on top of like the random premium pack and gold player packs, is the seasonal collectibles. You can get an absolute ton of them, and for anyone that has already completed one of the bigger seasonal collectibles, which is like the X Factor, or maybe you did the icon like Scott Niedermayer, for example, or even went after Gretzky and Lemieux, I want you guys to keep in mind that if you can bang out all of the Hut Rush as well, you can easily get some of the bigger ones yet again. If we take a look on the Not a Dollar squad, I've already done the Scott Niedermayer for 60, and I'm over halfway there to the X Factor choice pack. For anyone wondering what they should go after, if you have McKinnon, McCarr, Matthews, and McDavid, I probably would avoid that X Factor player choice pack, but if you don't, I'd probably go for it. If you do have all of those, I would just save for the Power Up Icon choice pack. That means you've got a God Squad. Shoot your shot on Lemieux and Gretzky, and there are some other icons as well that are actually pretty sweet, and I'm going to go over them in a future video, probably tomorrow, because a lot of them are going to get a +1 upgrade, and we've got to take a look at those, so keep that in mind as well. It does look right now that classic 5v5 Rivals is the play with 3-minute periods. So that is the Rivals type for this week. I don't believe it is going to rotate, but that is what it's going to be right now. So no burst. You've got essentially a full game there, so just keep that in mind. All right, guys, that is going to do it for today's content. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below, and I will see you next time.